thank you for staying with us. And it's still iBrand Day Break. Time to add sugar and spice. She said she's not sugar, that she is honey. And actually, I mean, that caramel skin be honey like honey. Hi, honey, Debbie. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Let me tell you guys a story. So I met a new man, apparently.
He called you honey.
And he said, sweetness. And I said, what kind of sweetness am I? And I was like, am I sugar sweetness or honey sweetness? And I said, oh, you're honey sweetness. Sugar is poisonous.
Oh my God.
And this is for me to actually tell you guys that I am actually honey. Officially.
Jesus.
And I bring spice to
God.
you. So it is Debbie honey now, not Debbie so anymore.
Am I a mannequin? Josh.
Hi Josh, good
morning.
I don't know.
After all these years that I suffered, I finally got a man that calls me honey.
Oh, so you're ending this year with greatness of the heart.
My dear sister,
happiness overload.
I suffered. I climbed mountains.
And she said it severally, I suffered.
But the Lord came through.
Okay, I was
for
just
you.
joking now, just joking. There is no man.
I was already planning a show in my head.
Hello, Che. It's nice to actually be on this side of the table with you guys this morning.
You're welcome.
So, speaking about men and women, our first story. Veteran Nigerian music executive Dayo Adeneye has taken a swipe at women who feel that their bodies are all they can bring to the table. During an interview on the Honest Bunch podcast, the former commissioner stated that most women feel that life is all about taking sexy photos with their booty popping out while waiting for men to slide into their DMs. According to the executive, if one goes to social media platforms like Instagram, the place is filled with women posting suggestive photos with their backsides in full display. Adeneye explained that men are more interested in those that can add value to their lives, and if the woman cannot do that, they will only use them for bedroom activities. They want further challenge women to come up with different skills they can offer, as sex won't last forever. Let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. And the first reaction said, for most men and women of this generation, relationship is transactional. This is because many of them have little or nothing to offer, emotionally or otherwise. They don't even know what love is all about. The next reaction, they feel their bodies are their market points to get paid easily, not acknowledging that it wouldn't last. And finally, some women are just homemakers and keepers. They don't have anything in their brains except to raise decent human beings. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but those categories are an exception. They don't haul around. At the same time, they're not good with business. I saw Josh nodding. So Uche, I'll begin with you.
I thought Josh was the person that was nodding.
I'll begin with Uche because obviously I think Josh actually agrees with D1. I do not know if you do, but the way you were nodding at one of the statements, I know you agree with him. So Uche,
I expected more from D1. For someone who's functioned in an executive position, he won't tell me he hasn't worked with women who turned around his business. He won't tell me he hasn't worked with women who are doing well for themselves. I mean, that is a very disrespectful way of generalizing things. I mean, give it to Deborah. Look at this girl. She is a producer extraordinary, and this is what she does. Debbie produces podcasts, live video sections. She is a red carpet host. She is the producer on this show, and she is here with us. It pains me because I can continue to give a list of women in my life that I know about that work hard for their money, that employ men. And you know why I even say that? I even have a problem with myself by saying women that employ men, because that would be sexist. But like, I'm just trying to prove how that women, we do so much for ourselves. A man cannot function 24 hours in the position of a career woman who does all the amazing things she does in the office and still goes on to be a mom and a wife. A man is only a husband though, and a daddy.
Yep.
It is a full-time job to be somebody's mother and somebody's wife or Ima. Do you know? You come home, food is already on the table, the children are already in bed, they've had their baths, brushed their teeth, their assignments are done. You have somebody who will sit back and give you a lowdown of everything that happened at home when you were at work. I can say so much.
No, Josh.
Even on that Instagram, sorry, Debbie.
Yeah.
I feel like D1 needs to go and check his algorithm. He needs to rework his algorithm, because if it's only women that take booty pictures that he only sees on his algorithm, then he has a problem. That's what he keeps searching for, because your algorithm will only give you what you keep searching for. There are female CEOs who their business thrives on social media alone. They don't have any office anywhere, but they keep consistently having meetings and taking bold steps and doing exploits on social media space. These women have lots and lots of people under their employ. They are paying them money. That is even for the people who are functioning in the executive level. There are people like me and Deborah who are honest women, just doing our work and going home and paying our bills every day. D1 really owes women an apology for that type of thing.
All right, Josh, how do you react?
All right, so while you were reading the story, I was nodding my head in affirmation. Not in its sense that I was doing it in the absolute sense, but somewhat I agree with what he's saying. But first, let me start by saying, you cannot have a successful woman, a successful man, without a woman behind, right? And that's why people would say for every successful man, there is a woman. That in itself makes you understand that I also recognize a place a woman plays in the life of a man. But however, I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. It's not for you to respond. Was D1 saying that he wanted to paint every woman with the same brush?
He was actually categorizing. He kept women.
He said women in
his generation in a box.
Well, that's a rhetorical question anyway. But then,
because you know the obvious answer. But it's okay.
But it's fine if you want to give me that answer.
Go on,
the thing is, it's not saying that in entirety all women are more about their bodies. You just mentioned Debbie and her capacity and how well she is at it. There are several women out there, but I can tell you for a fact that you don't have more than 10% of them. I can tell you for a fact. Because the average woman on the street is entitled. The average woman on the street is entitled. And what do I mean? Engage them on a conversation. Let's have a conversation on the economy. Let's have a conversation on politics. Let's have a conversation on national issues. They go off. But the moment you talk about issue that has to do with relationship, how a woman should be taken care of, and then you see them coming up with ideas. But bring that same woman to have a conversation with you on how you can build a brand, ideas on how you can take a brand from the level of inception to a level where you can say is beyond startup. Then they go off.
Josh, what kind of women have you been dealing with?
So that's why I'm saying that he might not be talking about women in general.
This conversation has now gone. The moment you said there are not 9%, I mean 10% of them.
More than 10%.
You've taken away from what D1 was saying. You said you agree that there are women like that, but they are not up to 10%.
They're not more than 10%. They're not more than 10%.
Just
not more than 10%. No. You know when I started the conversation with, yes, there are women out there who are doing great things, and I alluded to the fact that you are one of those, right? And I also said, let me just land. And I also said, there are women right there who are also very supportive of their husbands, right? And I cannot say that women all have the same mindset when it comes to bringing value to the table. I'm just saying that the 10% of women who are like you are just the women that when you see them, you know when they come to the table, they talk something sensible. But the rest of them are all about how they want to be taken care of, how they want a man to look at them, and all of that. That's the category of women D1 was talking about.
From your assertions right now, Josh, you said such women are not there.
They're not more than 10%.
They're not more than 10%. Yes. So a greater percentage of men have this capacity that you're talking about.
Those are the kind of men.
It's just a question, yes or no. A greater percentage of men has these capacities that you're talking about. You said these women, they are not up to 10% of them.
For the average set of women.
The average man has these capacities, yes or no. That's just what I want to get.
Now, the average man, what he's looking at is the value you're bringing to the table.